Are we doing this again? Oh, it's like every day we gotta do this show? Yeah, I understand. It's a pilot. Okay, I got it. Alright, so. What time is it? Okay. Good evening. And welcome to. What's the name of the show again? Good evening, and welcome to the Social Commentary Show with your host, El Nino. Now, today we're going to be talking about a certain person. As in a previous video I talked about, we're going to be talking about this is, again, let me just reel it in. Let me reel it back in. Okay, so the Social Commentary Show. Like I mentioned before, it's not trolling, a social commentary. One has a pun, one doesn't have a pun. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is, so part of the whole social commentary world is having to deal with certain people like hecklers, which we'll talk about later, and arch nemesis. Now, in order to kind of keep this whole conveyor belt going as far as social commentary is concerned, you always need that, like, you need a Joker to the Batman. You need a Vanilla Ice to your MC Hammer, Prince to your Michael Jackson. These are outdated examples, but you get what I'm saying. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting into this. So one of my arch nemesis, fairly recent but very consistent, he goes by the name of Michael Ferguson. Now, Michael Ferguson, he's a videographer, photographer. He does good work. The only thing is, I don't get his whole religious thing. But then again, who gets religion? It's not supposed to make sense. But he looks like a cool guy, and I give him a hard time because that's what the whole point of social commentary is: giving people a hard time, but not for no reason. You're giving people a hard time, again, to create another option in their thinking as far as how they go about doing things, and that's all it is. And if you look at his, if you go into his channel, you will see. Let me just move my ass. See, that's him right there. You can kind of see, he's into the whole, kind of like Tony Robbins, that other guy, Gary, I can't pronounce his last name, that he's more, he's more like the Tony Robbins of, a lot of inspirational stuff, you can do it, a lot of positivity, so on and so forth, which looks like is the common thread now. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, all of a sudden there's gurus popping up all over the place. And for Michael Ferguson, I think in your world they're referred to as false prophets. I don't know. So recently he's been working on a film called, and it just came out today. That's why I got to talk about it while it's still hot. I think it's called The Journey Back Home. Now, here's the video. Let me blow it up. Alright, there it is. Let me go ahead and shrink myself. Yeah, I'm nice and shrunken. I'll skip through it, but then we'll watch it together. Let me just turn off the sound. So from the look of it, it's very well shot, What is that, like a Mark? What are you using, a Mark III? He has good equipment. So there's people taking photos. There's two women together. And now, whatever that is. So as you can kind of clearly see off the bat, okay, so you could see it's like a gay relationship. Lesbian relationship between two women. Now she's having like some kind of existential crisis, apparently. But without getting to it right now, you kind of see it's nicely shot, very well lit. You got the non-verbal stuff going on, and you got the fans going. Good job on makeup. You got the lens flare. Yep. You got the whole contemplating, reflecting, and now the flashbacks. It's all very it's all very well done. If you just skim through it, you know, without really understanding what's going on. It looks very, it's that inspirational thing. A lot of close-ups. You know, a lot of, I mean, whenever you see close-ups, lens flares, little crossovers, everything's kind of slow, nothing's really much going on, just kind of focused on one person. This is the type of video where, you know, there's like a subliminal message. This is what I want to convey, that although it's well shot, this is without the sound, it's well shot, you could clearly see. But now let's hear the message behind it, because sometimes people are very vulnerable, as far as like what they see opposed to what they hear. You know, politicians are good with this, religious people, you know, the pageantry of it. But then when you actually just kind of like turn the volume down a little bit and just see it for what it is, just kind of look at it, or close your eyes and hear it without getting distracted, without, you know, the whole thing. You begin to see that there's something much more diabolical going on. I don't know if I want to use that word, but we'll go with that. So let's go ahead and let's bring it back. It's about 3 minutes. I'll probably just kind of skim through it. I know most people don't have the attention span. I don't have the attention span. So let's go ahead and start playing it. Got the volume up. Everybody good? Everybody need to take anybody, if you need to go to the bathroom, go right now. No? Everybody good? Y'all good? Y'all good? Okay. So can we play? Let's go ahead and play. Let's enjoy it. And I'll have the link, because I'm going to kind of talk over it a little bit, but I'll have the link so you can judge for yourself.
Stand again on a path I thought I'd never find myself. So much deception, so much pain. I gave my heart away to a counterfeit love. I journeyed into entrapment of my soul, believing the love of a woman could satisfy my inner longing for intimacy, believing I could give it another try, believing the lie, her soft lips, her flattery, her seduction.
And let's stop it right there. So, is anybody else turned on right now, or is it just me? Is it because I'm evil? Let me get another hat here. So, off the bat, you hear the message of, for some reason, what are we? I can't count. We're about a minute in, and we talking about, you know, we talking about practice. No, we're talking about she felt something good about herself, and now all of a sudden, it wasn't good. And I'll explain what this video, what they're trying to promote in a second. But let's hear it one more time, real quick.
So much pain. On a path I thought I'd never find myself. So much deception. So much pain.
Okay, so when you're looking at it, so much pain, so much deception, you're looking at it and you're thinking, oh, she might have cheated on her, right? This is what you're thinking. She might have cheated on her. So the pictures, the flashbacks.
I gave my heart away.
Okay.
To a counterfeit love. I journeyed into entrapment of my soul, believing the love of a woman could satisfy my inner longing for intimacy.
And let's stop right there. Thinking that another woman can satisfy that inner longing of intimacy. This is what she said. Now, usually, if I'm not mistaken, aren't women a little bit more intimate than guys? Isn't that the stereotype where guys are not as intimate or don't know how to because their brains are different? Is that hunter-gatherer thing? So why wouldn't another woman, just logically, I mean, I'm just, again, spitballing here. Just logically, wouldn't another woman satisfy that intimacy? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. This is why this show is necessary. This is why we comment socially. For questions, I don't know. I'm just watching. All right, let's continue.
Believing I could give it another try. Believing the lie. Her soft lips. Her flattery. Her seduction. It was a slow fade over time spent and little touches here and there. I fell back into the tide. It was truly a lie. So here I stand at the fork in the road, looking ahead to my future. One path has a sign that said.
Alright, look, okay. So now we're at a minute and 20, and I'm confused right now. Because she's saying...
For intimacy.
No intimacy.
Believing the lie. Lips.
Okay, believing the lie. No intimacy.
Soft lips.
So now she likes her lips, apparently.
Her flattery.
There's the intimacy. I mean, nothing says intimacy more than brushing somebody's hair, like, you know, wiping sleep off of somebody's eyes. You know, the hair, the brushing, that's intimate. Oh, what else do you need? What else do you want? All right. And I don't know what this was. Hold on. Did you see it? You see how fast that was? What is she, like a demon? What's going on? Watch. See, subliminal stuff.
Over time spent and little touches here and there.
What's she cooking?
Fell back here and there. I'm spent and little touch. I'm spent and little. I'm spent.
See, look, off the bat, where's the oregano? If she's stirring, to me that's spaghetti or something. Where's the empty pastas or the empty sauces? None. It's not anywhere. It's fake. See, this is the only fake thing about. The only thing that bothered me, honestly, throughout the whole video is like, what are you stirring? You know, you're not stirring anything. I digress.
And little touches here and there.
Okay.
I fell back into the tide. It was truly a lie. So here I stand.
It's still not clear what happened.
Looking ahead to my future. One path has a sign that says, Jesus. Life abundant.
Okay, so now it unravels. One path is Jesus, whatever that means. And the other path is her lover apparently juggling on the right side. See, now I get the point. You know, now I get why she would be concerned, because she's out in the woods in her white, whatever that is, and she's, what is she doing? The Macarena? What is she doing? She's juggling? Oh, she's bringing it back.
Looking ahead to my future.
So now I could understand.
One path has a sign that says, Jesus. Life abundant. And the other, Satan, death and destruction. I've come to find that.
Now, how is she Satan? Like, I don't understand. I thought Satan was red. Then you have like this red pigmentation thing. They keep recasting it, and then it's another, and then they whitewash Satan with another blonde woman. But that's another Hollywood topic that we'll get into in another episode. But let's go ahead and continue.
Destruction. I've come to find that everything's a choice. To submit to him or live for me. What will it be? He is calling me, telling me he is the lover of my soul.
So,
what will it be? He is calling me, telling me he is the lover of my soul.
So are we talking about Jesus or some dude named Jesus that she had maybe a little fling with? Because I don't understand what's happening right now.
telling me he
The
is the
lover.
lover of my soul.
Yeah, he sounds like a Latin lover.
What will I do with all this pain? Surrender to him or hold on to false hopes? Will I take my heart back and give it to my beloved? I stand here knowing what is right, what leads to life. I fall on my knees saying, Daddy, please.
Alright, maybe I'm taking this out of context, but she's talking about some dude named Jesus that she wants to give her life, and now she's falling on her knees, yelling daddy. You know, that's what happens when you have a wild night in Miami and there's cocaine and liquor. I mean, that's just what happens, but alright.
Please help me. Sobbing. The pain runs so deep. Not knowing if I can trust his goodness. Questioning my eternal security. Playing with fire that will only engulf me. Knowing the truth in my mind, but my heart has not quite caught up.
Okay, notice the message. There's nothing concrete. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Alright.
So what do I choose? A few happy, blissful years of lust on earth? Do I rescue her and become her savior? Do I tell her I can solve all of her heartache and forfeit my soul? In doing so, I say to God, you can't satisfy me. In doing so, I say to God, don't trust that your plan for my life is best. Why did I choose counterfeit? Why was I blind to see this could happen again? That I could give my heart away to someone who could never have it. This is when I look up and see a Savior on the path of life abundant.
Is anybody else getting this? I don't understand what's the point. See, this is my point. You know, you gotta be careful what you watch. It could be the best production of all time, but what are you saying with your titles and on your face? Okay, let's back up a little bit.
Blissful years of lust on earth? Do I rescue her and become her savior?
Do I rescue her and become her savior? So now you want to be I don't understand. Now you want to. I don't understand what's happening. Is my point, and this is very common with anything political or religious. You never want to say the truth directly. It's always indirectly, you know. And the way they fill in the gaps is with all these nice little cuts and the lighting with the half face and the wind, because that's evil. So. Alright, let's continue.
Do I tell her I can solve all of her heartache and forfeit my soul?
Yeah, that's called marriage. Like, what are you talking about?
I say to God, you can't satisfy me. In doing so, I say to God, don't trust that your plan for my life is best. Why did I choose counterfeit? Why was I blind to see this could happen again? That I could give my heart away to someone who could never have it. This is when I look up and see a Savior on the path of life abundant, gazing into my eyes, refuting all the lies.
This bitch is high. Is it me or is she on something? What is she talking about? She's given up a relationship that I think it's real. I don't know. At this point, I don't know if it's all in her head. And now she's giving it up for something else that it's not very clear, like, for example, God's plan, whatever that means. And now she looks up into the heavens, and now she's walking in the forest somewhere. She's gonna die of hypothermia. Is it a hypothermia or exposure? Something. She'll die of something.
Say, I'm yours. And yours.
Alright, let's cut it right there. Now, do you see what I see? I'm assuming this is a symbolic because of the glowing, the overexposed whites and the glowing is Jesus. Now, why is Jesus white? Is what I'm saying. Why? He's not white. He was from the Middle East. There's no white people in the Middle East. Alright. Unless this is actually... Or this is Jesus, but Jesus, the guy from Miami. The cocaine and liquor binge that, you know, she got her knees yelling daddy for. That might be him. And then I could understand why. Alright.
He says, this other path is not what I want for you. I have already chosen you. I love you. I gave it my all, so you could freely choose me. So I took his outstretched hand and believed in his plan. He wrapped me in his arms as we walked the path of life and life abundant. Now I am home, eternally
Alright. Then I will give them a heart to know me, that I am the Lord, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return to me with their whole heart. Jeremiah 24, semicolon 7. Okay, let's just finish. There's a couple more seconds. Alright, I think it's over. Let's backtrack just one more point right here.
I gave it my all, so you could freely choose me. So I took his outstretched hand and believed in his plan. He wrapped me in his arms as we walked the path of life and life abundant. Now I am home, eternally.
You see, you know, dick is a powerful thing. Like, from what I understand, this guy gave her the best dick she's ever had, or ever had, period. Assuming she was in a look like a lesbian relationship. Okay, all jokes aside. Obviously, this film is about conversion. If you don't know what conversion, what that means is basically, basically it means they try to get homosexual people and then they try to convert them to be straight. Which, to me, doesn't make sense. To me, that's torture, because those are the kind of tactics they used. I think in the Korean War, they kind of popularized it, and then the FBI kind of started using it. As far as making somebody believe anything, you know, even though that's not what they are. And of course, homosexuality is just as natural as being anything else in this. I mean, to me, if it exists, it's natural, it's real, and it's always been a thing in existence. So for them to promote, you know, somebody who is born a certain way, who is born gay, and then to convince them otherwise that they're not, that's torture. That is torture. It's like taking somebody and making them believe they're a chicken, you know? You take them to a camp somewhere in the forest, and, you know, you put feathers on them and stick a plunger up their ass and make them, you know, start clucking like a fucking chicken. It might work after a while, after, like, you know, whatever torture they put you through. Eventually, enough of it, you'll start thinking you're a chicken. So, that's it. That's all I got. I mean, well shot. I'm not gonna deny that. Very well shot. But is the message. You have to listen. Listen. What the hell are they talking about? Now, granted, they didn't really say what it was. I mean, I know what it was because of their promotion, but that's how they get you. It's subliminal, you know. It's subliminal with the vision and with the music, and it's all bullshit. If you're in editing and video stuff, you start to see the other half of it, and it's like, this is ridiculous. It's so fake. But when you put it together and put it nicely, you could start convincing people, and that's when it becomes dangerous, in my opinion. You know, one thing is believing this, you know, by yourself, but then when you start, you know, torturing people, then that's another thing. But you know, I'm interested to see this documentary. I think it comes out 2018, The Journey Back Home. So I'll definitely be checking that out. And that's it. I guess I'm done. Are we done? This was kind of, you know what? I'm tired of these crackers. Like, we're gonna have to. Once we start getting production going, we're gonna have to, one, an intro. This is ridiculous. And then two, more hats. Like, I mean, what is up with all these hats? You know what I'm saying? Like, I said beanies. That's my thing. Let's get more beanies. Whatever. So, at least peanut butter. Alright. So, thank you for tuning in for another pilot episode. This one's more, I would say, what do we call it? Like a segment? Yeah, like a segment. So, as I start doing these pilots, they're going to be separated in different things. But this one was more like a segment, a profile of something or someone. So, thank you. Thank you, Michael Ferguson. I hope you understand and respect my point of view. It's a point of view. That's all it is. Just like you have a point of view. And we're just talking. It's a social commentary, you know. We're not enemies. We're not friends. We're just here. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, other than that, do we have an outro yet? No outro. Alright. Oh, you want me to stop it? Yo, we don't have no tech people? No, I gotta stop it. Alright, where is it? Alright. Stop. Nope. That's settings. Where's stop? Sorry. Alright, now it's getting awkward. Studio mode. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, stop.